What's going on, everyone? It's your boy Savvy, and welcome back to the Savvy Show. And in today's episode, guys, we have another unique video for us for today. This episode is going to be about an SCP that we covered later back in the beginning stages of this channel. It's probably a fan favorite from most of you guys. This SCP is SCP-096. Which is also known as Shy Guy. So this SCP, in this video, we're going to be looking at questions and theories that I'm assuming that regular people like ourselves, submitted in, and this channel is going to be, addressing the questions. And also, the title says, looking at a picture of Shy Guy in space, ? The Shy Guy questions and theories. So I'm assuming that part is one of the questions that they're going to be diving deep into the video. That'll be interesting as well too. And I'm really intrigued because this SCP, even though this is a pretty goofy SCP, bro, like it's strong. It's really strong. So I am excited and intrigued to see what kind of questions were submitted and the answers that they're going to dish out. So with that being said, if you guys are excited for this reaction, please remember to smash that like button if you do enjoy it along the way, and also smash that sub button, join the family if not already part of it. Like always, I make daily content for you guys on this channel. So if you enjoy SCP content, you enjoy my reaction style, this is the best place to be on the tube. Come on. I'm telling you, hands down. So get that dose of heat and have fun with the family. All gas, no brakes. We don't slow down for nothing. Like always, we get it done. So with that being said, hit that bell to stay plugged with each and every upload. And without any further ado, let's get this show started. Alrighty, SCP-096, looking at a picture of Shy Guy in space, the Shy Guy questions and theories. Let's go.
This video is about two things. The first is SCP-096, also known as the Shy Guy, a horrific monster who murders anyone and anything unfortunate enough to look at its face, directly or through photos or videos. The second is you, because we asked you for your favorite questions, theories, and hypothetical situations involving 096.
You didn't ask me.
We even asked if you thought someone would be safe from 096 on the moon, and you delivered. If you haven't watched our first video on the infamous Shy Guy, we recommend checking that out first.
Okay.
But feel free to stick around even if you haven't. First of all, let's take a look at the questions you had about the SCP Foundation's most dangerous introvert, and see if we can't find some answers. How close would you have to be to trigger it? Like if it was 5 kilometers away, would it still count? The short answer is that 096's homicidal rage can be triggered from pretty much any distance.
Yeah,
we'll get into some of the potentially crazy extents of this later on. But if you see the Shy Guy's face while you're sharing a dimension with him, you're in serious trouble.
He should be technically the new 05-1. But anyway, we'll keep it going.
People who view the creature's face in different countries or even miles underwater have met gruesome ends. 5 kilometers would definitely not keep you safe.
Yeah.
What were his origins, and how strong is he compared to SCP-682?
Origins.
The origins of SCP-096 are still shrouded in mystery. All we know for sure is that he was discovered by the Foundation in a snowy mountainous region. As for physical durability, he's about even with 682, as both survived their encounter. We know 682 has the psychological advantage though, as 096 has been terrified of the lizard ever since they met in cross-testing. However, you could argue that 096 is technically more dangerous, since unlike 682, 096 has never been pacified before killing its intended target while on a rampage.
Yeah.
If he goes into an unstoppable attack mode when someone sees his face, shouldn't you not show his face in the thumbnail? Thankfully, according to the official documents.
Come on, guys. Like, yo, what's with these questions, obviously, but yo, you think this is for real?
Artistic representations, like paintings or digitally drawn YouTube thumbnails, have no effect. Only actual photographs or videos of the creature can be deadly, so you're safe. Unless we decide to do a 096 face reveal to celebrate our next 100,000 subscribers, of course.
Yeah.
This leads us to our...
Well, he already passed that milestone. We're still good, so let's keep it pushing.
Next question. If it attacks you when you look at it, then how did the scientist draw the picture of the thing without looking at it? That's a good question, and also one that occurred to the Foundation's scientists, who came up with an extremely elaborate solution. They put a D-class tattoo artist inside a diving bell miles underwater, and had him unseal a photograph of the creature before drawing a copy. This
What?
copy was then released from the diving bell in a sealed container before 096 inevitably got to the poor D-Class.
Wow.
Does the Shy Guy have to be viewed through a good quality image to enter a rage state?
I don't think so.
Unfortunately, no.
Yeah.
Even the most poorly rendered or minuscule image of 096's face is a death sentence.
He doesn't discriminate.
One of the most infamous incidents resulted from a man seeing a small dot that was only a few pixels wide in a photo from an old ski trip.
What? Yo, that's wild. He was all... So anyone that ever walked in this house and looked at that photo, they're dead. Wow.
The dot...
And I wonder whoever has that photo ever thought like, yo, why does my friends always keep on dying when they come over? Like, don't they get that question in their head? I know this is an example, but it's just kind of funny.
was 096, taken from a mile away. No true image of 096 is safe, regardless of size. In some canons, despite 096 being referred to as indestructible, the Foundation managed to terminate it after many attempts and even more bureaucracy.
Wait, what?
How did they do it? Well, a lot of...
They terminated him? That's news to me. Let me hear that again. What?
96 being referred to as indestructible, the Foundation managed to terminate it after many attempts and even more bureaucracy.
In some
How
canons.
did they do it? Well, a lot of 096's body has been blown away by conventional arms fire. Its hyper-tough skeleton is what has given it such an indestructible reputation. In one tale, though, Foundation researchers actually used this to their advantage, and employed the use of the neck-snapping killer sculpture SCP-173. After using 173 to damage 096's bones, powerful acid was injected into the skeleton, destroying it from within.
Wow.
Though, of course, this isn't the official ending of the 096 story, because the SCP Foundation doesn't have a single unifying canon.
Dang.
That's enough questions. Now it's time for you to school us.
Okay.
Let's look at some of your favorite theories about the Shy Guy, starting with... I sometimes like to imagine that 096 is nice, but he can't control when someone sees him, and after he kills the person, he starts to cry because he didn't want to kill them. There is actually some evidence
That'd
to
be
suggest that
interesting.
SCP-096 might not want to kill.
Or he's just a weirdo that cries. I honestly think he's just a freaking weirdo, but who knows?
A great example of this is its cross-test with SCP-978, a camera which reveals the deepest desires of whoever or whatever is in its photos. The photo it took of 096 showed that it had completely disappeared from the photo, showing its deepest desire was to just be invisible and unseen. Maybe it wants to disappear because it doesn't want to hurt anybody. Regarding the moon question, I think SCP-096 would probably stay in that hostile state until you came back, at which point it would promptly rip you to shreds and do whatever it does to your mutilated corpse. Based on what we know about prior 096 incidents, this feels incredibly likely. It's also possible that it might enter its docile state, before becoming aggressive again when you return to its murder range. You really don't want to find out, either way.
Oh, God.
He can just jump to the moon easy. He does squats and containment all the time.
Okay, chill.
Well, its scrawny physique doesn't
Chill.
make it seem like 096 understands the concept of exercise. There aren't any cameras in 096's
You could jump to
cell,
the moon?
so technically we can't prove it isn't doing squats to pass the time in there. I really doubt a blind person would be safe from his effect, since 096 has the IQ of a newborn baby. I think he will count it as looking at him. This is an interesting theory. However, seeing as 096 is able to sense when people see its face from entire continents away,
That's just crazy.
the way it knows if you can see its face might be a little more psychic in nature. Therefore, it's probable that it wouldn't mistakenly kill someone who hasn't actually seen its face, such as a person who is blind. To deal with him, in my opinion, simply freeze him, either in space or in the mountains. His body shuts down, and when looked at it, it will not react correctly. It is simply asleep. While we don't know how SCP-096 will react to a zero-G environment, for a creature that's always nude, it seems extremely tolerant to the cold. When it was first found, it was lurking in icy mountains, and a Foundation agent commented on the fact it wasn't even shivering, despite the incredibly low temperatures.
So weird.
But who knows if there's a temperature out there that's too low even for the Shy Guy.
Oh, God.
If someone looks at it in China and it's in the US, then you get on its back, you'll get a free piggyback ride to China. It's a free trip to China, and all it costs is a human life. That's my theory. Technically, it'd be at the cost.
What is with these theories? Like, I thought they were going to be like legit ones. These are like joke ones.
Cost of 2 human lives, unless you wore a diving suit with plenty of oxygen. 096 has proven to be an extremely proficient swimmer, but you'd have to maintain your grip across the entire Pacific Ocean while it journeys to China. In other words, it's technically possible, but we here at SCP Explained would rather pay for the round-trip flight. To each their own, though. But that's enough theories for now.
Okay.
Let's move on to the main event.
Ooh.
Hypotheticals. You pose some great possible scenarios involving SCP-096, so we're going to see if we can find the answers.
What would happen if someone looked at a picture of it while in or before entering another SCP's pocket dimension or mirror dimension?
There aren't any canon examples to prove either way, but if there's any kind of consistent entry point into this dimension, it's likely that 096 would find a way to follow you in. If not, it's very possible that it may just wait for you to eventually return.
I don't think it's going to be jumping through portals and portals. I feel like it's just going to like wait in that spot where you left or, you know, zoomed off from and then kill you then. Just like the moon one. Like if you go on the moon, he's just going to wait until you come back. And then when you're in like, you know, Earth or whatever where he's able to, he'll kill you.
Or bringing the metaphorical hammer down on you. So technically, if you were pulled into the old man's pocket dimension and he closed the portal, you'd be safe from 096, but then you've got a whole other problem to deal with.
For real. Also, another good question is, if that person did exactly that, and he stays in the pocket dimension, and obviously this SCP doesn't kill him, the old man, and someone else looked at Shy Guy's photo, would Shy Guy skip him and then go to the person that last looked at his photo and kill him? Or would he literally just wait for that one person that's in line, which is the dude in the dimension, to come back and then get everyone else that was like looking at the photo in order of when they looked at it? That would be something cool to see if that will be the case. Nothing too crazy, but it would be just interesting. Like, does he have to do it in a timely, orderly manner? You know, that would be cool.
What happens if a person sees his face then gets their memory of the creature wiped?
Considering how good the Foundation seems to be at wiping people's memories and their access to amnestics, if this worked, they probably would have made it standard procedure by now.
Yeah.
So it's unlikely.
No, you're dead.
What happens if...
Because that doesn't change Shy Guy's knowledge of you seeing him. It only changes your knowledge of looking at Shy Guy. So that wouldn't even work out. Because Shy Guy's the one that's killing. Not the other way around. Come on now. Anywho.
A person looked at it and that person then went on a plane, or just staying in the air or space, what would it do?
096 has shown the ability to jump up and destroy low-flying aircraft, but otherwise, it's likely that the creature would probably run to a point directly below.
He could actually jump on planes? What? Oh my god.
You and remain there until you touch back down.
That's what I figured.
Since you'll need food and water at some point, and aircrafts need fuel, you'd probably just be prolonging the inevitable.
Yeah.
What if the young girl was around it, so it tried to attack her, but died trying?
This is another interesting possibility.
This is
SCP-053 is a girl capable of causing homicidal urges, but causes fatal heart attacks in those who attack her. While we can't know for sure how a meeting between 096 and 053 would go, we can use her encounter with 682 as a potential template.
Also, guys, let me know if you have any interest in, or if you know any interesting breakdowns of that SCP, the young girl, about her origins, possibly. Yeah, I'm interested in seeing if there's any certain kind of videos. I don't think there's any animations. If there's any non-animations, let me know in the comment section below if you have any favorite ones. Might check it out in the future.
Aggressive SCPs, like the hard-to-kill reptile, perhaps having an innate knowledge of the danger that comes from attacking 053, tend to become strangely docile around her. It's possible that 096 would do the same.
What?
Would we be able to control SCP-096 with the help of SCP-035?
The possessive mask, aka SCP-035, is undeniably a lot more intelligent than 096, and has even been shown to respond to reason on occasion. It's also been able to control almost every other entity it's been placed on. The problem is, if the mask was placed on 096, and it was somehow effective, the result may be even more dangerous than 096. An intelligent monster with an indestructible and highly dangerous body.
There's
Yeah.
no telling whether 035 would slowly break down 096 into sludge the way it does to humans.
Probably
in which
would.
case we would be left with an immortal 096-035 combo.
Yeah, that would be interesting. And also, another question they could have added onto this question is if he would have put on the mask and you would have looked at Shy Guy, does that mean that you will still die because his face is covered? Like, would he take the appearance or like the personality or whatever as a possessive mask, which will not make it Shy Guy in the state where like he won't have to kill you because you didn't really look at him, you're looking at the possessive mask? That would be kind of cool, but I'm sure he'll still want to kill you either way, unless the possessive mask could control the urges of killing someone that looks at, you know, Shy Guy, which will be him at that moment in time. Interesting.
So maybe it's best that we never find out. If someone were to be in the infinite IKEA and looked at a picture of its face, could it finally be contained? And if someone else looked at a picture of it outside of the infinite IKEA, could it escape and kill them? If so, how long would it take it?
That's a good question.
A great question.
Yeah.
And while the infinite IKEA is a terrifying maze, SCP-096 has an advantage here that we don't. Not only can it rip through anything in the way with its super strength, it has an innate sense of where its victim is. Therefore, regardless of whether you're inside or out, SCP-096 will still come straight to you to exact your horrible fate. But at least you can enjoy the meatballs while you wait, right?
McDonald's fries?
Finally, what would happen if 096 were led into a room full of mirrors and allowed or made to look at its own face? Would it smash the mirrors or try to rip itself to pieces? This is still a hotly debated issue to this day, which, thanks to the no-canon nature of the SCP Foundation, does not have a definitive answer.
Dang.
Some theorize that this would at least be an effective deterrent against SCP-096, while others suggest that it wouldn't be effective, because many believe that 096 is actually blind, and thus cannot see its own face.
What? That's
it can only sense when other people see.
I don't know. That's a cop out. So I'm not gonna believe that. I ain't gonna believe it.
Again, we don't quite know for sure, but it's likely to remain one of the most contentious issues around the Shy Guy for a long time.
He wasn't even looking at you.
And there you.
Wow, you played him. You tapped to make him look at you just to... Bro, Shy Guy, you be playing games too much.
Have it, folks. Our very first questions and theories video. We loved hearing what you had to say.
It was cool.
So keep an eye on our community post for the next one.
Alright, well, that's it. So, yo, it was interesting. I'm glad they did it for this SCP more than any other ones because it is a really powerful and, like, you know, fan favorite one. Not for me, though. Y'all know my stance on it. I think it's goofy. But anyway, it was cool to see some questions that were actually really, you know, interesting. And it delved into other concepts of like other SCPs revolving around, you know, Shy Guy. So it was cool. This is a cool breakdown question and theories video. If you guys like this reaction to it, please remember to smash that like button. And also remember, let me know what you thought about this video and certain kind of videos like this that I react to. Let me know if you guys are interested in, you know, these kind of videos of me reacting to them. And then I might potentially look for more to react to on the channel. So with that being said, I look forward to reading the comments down below. And also remember, hit that bell so you can stay plugged with each and every upload. And unfortunately, that concludes today's episode. However, I'll catch you guys on the next one. With